Welcome to Gallifrey Pirate Radio Live, where we are here tonight, this evening, talking about the next Doctor. Is he the 12th Doctor? Is he the 13th Doctor? Or is he some number we do not know? We are talking about Peter...
Capaldi.
Capaldi, a name I still have not mastered yet. But I am your host, Peter Beauchamp. Wait, no, sorry, Davey Beauchamp, and I am joined by...
Drew Meyer.
And Angela Pritchett.
We have a new Doctor.
We have a guy who's going to be playing the Doctor soon.
Yeah,
this is Stephen Moffat's biggest, my bad.
I'm imagining that even Stephen Moffat wouldn't pull something off like that to try to change it. But the man has yet to record an episode, so...
Well, he did do the one little thing for BBC so far.
Yes.
Yes, where
he's not in costume, and
yes.
We assume.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be...
And he refers to, hi, I'm Peter Capaldi, and I'm the 12th Doctor. I think that's it.
No, he says, I'm the next...
Oh, the next Doctor. No. Sorry, the next Doctor.
Or I'm the
I think he says
new Doctor.
No, I think it says I'm the Doctor.
No, he says either next or new with that one.
Okay.
But, either or. That is arguing about semantics, and which would be silly to do so this time.
Drew and myself, we did talk a little bit about him, just our initial impressions of everything. Right after the live event, I was getting texts from you saying, God, will they not announce it yet? What are your initial impressions of Peter as the next Doctor?
I'm glad they went with an older actor. I'm very happy about that. I got called sexist yesterday because I was like, well, I'm glad they picked an older male. It seems that I should have said there should have been a female. But yeah, I'm glad they went with an older male, and I trust in the casting directors that they have picked the best actor for the season for what they want to do with the show. So we'll have to wait and see what his episodes are like. I'm not really trying to make any assumptions right now because it could be totally different when we get that.
Just let me throw this out here. What would you like this next Doctor to be like?
Not Dr. McSexy?
100% with you right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am. If he has a relationship with anyone, I hope that it's like a cute little fling for one episode or something.
Oh no! Ooh, no! No, that makes it even worse.
Well, not
only is our Doctor not going to be in a relationship, he's just going to have one-night stands.
Well, no, I don't mean like one-night stand type thing. I'm just saying, like he's fond of this one character, like so it's for an episode type thing.
Oh, a Madame de Pompadour kind of thing.
Yeah, that type of thing.
Gotcha.
But I also thought it was hilarious that Jenna Louise Coleman was like, I hope the Doctor and Clara are best friends. Because she wants to keep her job.
Well, yeah, but I think what that's almost an allusion to is the relationship that Tom Baker had with Elizabeth Sladen. Fourth Doctor and Sarah Jane. Have you met Sarah Jane? She's my very best friend. That kind of relationship, which is... I think we were still in the avuncular stage where you didn't think of the Doctor as being a sexual entity, because the only Doctor that had any kind of, bravado in that department was the first Doctor with, what's her name in the Aztecs, where he accidentally gets married, or something.
I still think coming from her, who hasn't filmed anything with him yet, that she's probably like, I hope that I get along very well and have good presence with him.
Oh, yeah. Well, the life of a companion is, at best, in Modern Who, 2.5 seasons.
Yeah.
No one's gone past that. But I think Jenna Louise Coleman, assuming that she, whoever the scriptwriters write interesting scripts for her and keep the audience's attention, because it's not whether or not she can act. We know that she can act. Yeah. She certainly has the personality for it. It's just that, the scriptwriters are going to go, well, we've told all the stories we can do with her companion. It's time to bring in somebody else. So...
Well, this is what I'm hoping. I want a more, professorly sort of Doctor, with a little bit more mystery to him, kind of like a McCoy, and just dapper, just more of a professor. I want the mystery to be brought back to who the Doctor is, which I think they're sort of alluding to anyway. And I could almost see the Jenna Louise Coleman and this Doctor almost going back to like an Ace Seventh Doctor or a First Doctor Susan sort of relationship, especially with him going from such a young face to such an older face, and she has a unique perspective to this Doctor because she's experienced them all.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the regeneration proper because she's not only is she not going to be surprised by it. This will be the first time where they didn't go. I think the only person who's not been surprised by the regeneration has been Lethbridge Stewart, who's like, oh, here we go again.
Exactly. Yeah.
So she knows what's going to happen because she has met. Well, we get I'm looking forward to the next episode, so it kind of explains what exactly has transpired from the name of the Doctor. I'm not going to make assumptions at this part.
Oh, I think that's too hard to do right now.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a question. Because I was thinking about this. We know Matt Smith's is regenerating.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know when. We don't know if it's going to be at the end of the 50th. We don't know if it's at the beginning of the Christmas, middle of the Christmas, end of the Christmas. They're just saying that he's leaving at the Christmas episode. And I think they're being vague about that. Because I know they haven't even started filming it yet. What would you like? I mean, at what point would you like to see the Doctor regenerate? Would you like a halfway through the episode type of regeneration? Would you like a beginning of the episode regeneration? Or the end of the episode regeneration?
End of the episode like they've been doing, I think. Give them a way to say goodbye. And then bring in this new person to have them kind of just brought in for their next season.
Yeah, I agree. Considering that they're going to start filming in a couple of weeks, you got to give Capaldi a chance to figure out who his Doctor is. As he said in the introductory interview, he hasn't looked in the mirror and seen the Doctor act. It's not the Doctor yet.
Yeah.
He recognizes that he's the next Doctor. He knows he's got big shoes to fill. Obviously, he's a fan. I certainly don't want them to do a switch early on because I want them to be able to
let the fans say goodbye to Matt Smith properly.
Yeah, and to give Matt Smith has said is wrong, but I think Capaldi needs a chance to really work on the nuances of that. I mean, think about it. Almost without fail, they film a second, third, or fourth episode in a series first, and then go back and film that first episode. So they're comfortable in the role. They can really come in with that kind of boom. There's a good relationship between the actor and the Doctor and the companion. So yeah, I think we're going to get that kind of a tradition. And I think it's a tradition that is worth having. I think with the exception of the Baker to McCoy regeneration, we've had them at the end of an episode and then let them get a start.
Honestly, this may just be me. I kind of want the formula mixed up a little, and I understand that they need time for that chemistry. But I won't lie. I would love for us to get like a mid-episode regeneration, or 3/4 of the way in regeneration. I don't know. I really want to see something new. I mean, I've loved Smith's run, but now I'm excited about our new guy because he is so different from both Tennant and Smith, just age-wise.
So he will be the oldest actor ever to play the role.
58 years old.
Is he really?
He's 58.
He's 55.
He was older than Hartnell?
He was born in 58. That's what it was.
Born in
He was born
58.
in 58.
He's 55 now. His birthday is in April, so that when they flew the first official episode that he starts in, he will be the oldest person ever to.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
What's his birthday in April? Do you know?
I don't.
I'm gonna have to look that up. That's kind of cool. I share an April birthday, so I'm kind of excited. I did not realize that.
And I could be wrong. It could be a different month. There are 12 of them.
But it was 1958 because it was a year after my parents when I looked it up.
So do you think it's time for just because we are at the 50th, we are doing a regeneration. Do you think it's time for a new exterior of the TARDIS?
Never a new exterior to the TARDIS.
Well, no. What I mean is like with Matt Smith, it became brand new, fresh. It had the Saint John's medallion again. That's what I'm talking about. Do you think it's time for a little revamping of the outside? Size-wise, because there have been many different shapes and sizes. They've all been the blue police box, but they've had different forms, here, there, different lettering, different plaque on the outsides. You think it's time? Because that I think everybody's gonna think of that brand new police box as being Smith's. Do you think it's time for Capaldi to have his own?
I truthfully don't think the masses pay that much attention.
I don't. Yeah, I would agree. I would say that the general populace, most of the people who watch the show, probably don't care about that kind of minutia as far as the fans are concerned. Yeah, I could see them choosing some little look or something different to make it his own.
Yeah.
Maybe not initially. Maybe a dent or something along those lines.
They're not going to want to go through and redo a bunch of their props because while it is one of their big money makers, they do try to skimp on certain things.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't see them redoing the interior. They just redid the interior.
I don't mean the interior.
Yeah.
I'm just saying also just building a new...
However...
finding a new police box to use.
It is interesting that you bring this up. Because in interviews, Moffat people have been throwing out, you only have 2 episodes left with Smith. Do you think it's time to answer some of the questions that haven't been answered from Series 5 and onward, including what happened with the explosion of the TARDIS?
Thank you!
So, and Moffat has said that all the answers to all those questions that will be answered in the 50th or the Christmas special.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Now, at the same time, he, as a direct quote, or to paraphrase, he said, I have been lying my arse off about Doctor Who for the last year, so he could be lying about that. But if the TARDIS does explode, maybe we would get a new something. Because the only piece that we really see of the TARDIS that does explode is the part of the sign.
Yeah.
So, and the painting.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't mind, the window color changing, just something a little different to say that, this is the next guy's TARDIS.
Well, we did get the crack in the window from the name of the Doctor.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if that'll stay or not.
Yeah. Wow. That was a really good sort of discussion we just had there. I think that was one of our best. I really don't know where to go from there. Other than,
We can talk about what we want. I haven't talked about what I want to see from.
What do you want to see? I kind of got caught up in everything.
No, I understand. I like the idea of the Professorly. I like the idea of a McCoy Ace relationship. I do, almost like a mentor. I'd like to see a kind of Mycroftian Doctor, where he's a little bit more behind the scenes, and I'd like to see the companions, plural, because I think one of the first things that I would like to see is an addition of a male companion to get a little, not crowded TARDIS, but I would like to see one that isn't going to be a will they, won't they love relationship. I'm not saying that we need to have a gay male on there, but I'm just saying that it would be nice to have another character to have a dynamic. Not immediately, of course, because I want to see, everyone wants to see how Capaldi will take a relationship with any of them. And really, we haven't gotten a chance to see Jenna Coleman really shine as Clara that much. And I'm hoping that maybe we'll get a couple of episodes where we can just bask in how cool this new Doctor is before we jump into a massive story arc. But yeah, I like the idea of him being kind of a more do this, do that, kind of the chess player, and maybe a little less human, too. Maybe like a quirky but somber, like, Baker had that feel. I think what I want...
Which Baker?
You're right, thank you. Tom Baker, 4th Doctor. Maybe it's just me hoping. I'm hoping that we get a Tom Baker-esque kind of Doctor where knows a lot of information, but has a real alien quality to the way he acts. Not necessarily listening to water before he drinks it, but reminding us that he is in fact not just a human being with 2 hearts.
Well, actually, what I'm wondering is because if you watch the Doctor Live and stuff like that, you know that he wrote into Radio Times, and that turned into he actually ended up with a really it appeared. I would have to watch the DVD because it's on a behind the scenes footage on one of the Classic Who DVDs. But Peter had a really good relationship with. Let me go back to my notes here. With Barry Letts, Terrence Dix, and Pertwee. I'm wondering if any credits meeting those guys as the reason why he became an actor, writer, and director. So I'm wondering if he may not pull a little bit more from Pertwee, if that happens to be one of his favorites. Because I won't lie, it would kind of be cool. And I don't want this a lot, but to seeing
I want to see the doctor flip someone.
the
Venusian Aikido.
It'd be cool to see that come back.
Sure.
For a moment or two.
Well, we got to
he's
see.
He's kind of tall and lanky enough to kind of pull off a Pertwee style if he decides to go with, like, certain doctors have said, well, this was my influence. This doctor was my influence. That if he went with that.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Again, I kind of want to see it more of a Hinchcliffian, but that's again my favorite parts with it.
Yeah. Might be me just going when he goes to pick out his outfit, he pulls out the velour suit and then goes, eh.
Well, I will say this. This is kind of cool. I went back and I watched his shows on Craig Ferguson because they're lifelong buddies.
Yeah.
They were in a band, the Dream Boys, together.
I saw pictures of that.
And he comes in, he's wearing a very smart suit, but right as he sits down, he opens up his suit, and it is like pink satin on the inside, and it looks very much like a Pertwee cape. And I thought, oh, that is interesting. Now, this is, of course, from 2009, so, though he did apply for the role of the 11th Doctor. He did audition for it, and Moffat has basically said, I liked him, but he wasn't right at that time.
Yeah.
And he's apparently the only. Again, when I say Moffat says, we have to take this with a grain of salt. Moffat said that it was a short list, and Capaldi's name was the only name on that list. They knew exactly who they wanted. They didn't audition anybody else.
Really?
Yeah. So, golf ball.
Yeah.
Golf ball and cats is fun. Yeah, they said that he went for the audition. He wanted to audition because he knew it was happening, and instead he got a phone call that basically, come on over to dinner, let's talk about what we're going to have you do.
And they did the little film, and they showed it off to everybody that mattered, and they sold it.
Yep.
I gotta say, I did really dig. I saw him with the Three Musketeer hair, and the longer hair and the goatee mustache. I was like, man, that's pretty suave. I kind of like that.
I thought it was Billy Connolly at first.
It did have a Billy Connolly feel to it. But one thing I don't know why, but when I see Peter, I see almost the Ninth Doctor from Scream of
the Shulka.
A little bit in there.
The illustration of Richard Grant.
Yeah.
Huh?
And I don't know why. I just picture the two of them together. It just popped in there.
We don't know. Moffat is certainly the most timey-wimey writer that the show's probably ever had, so we don't know what we're going to get with the 50th. We don't know what we're going to get with the Christmas special, so
I mean, actually, you brought up a good point, Moffat. Because Moffat does lie. And I'm not saying that he's fooling us all with who the next Doctor is. I think the BBC would kill him at this point, especially after that big fanfare they did. How much longer do you think we're going to have Moffat for? I mean, do you have a gut feeling? Because at one point he seemed like he was burning out, but now it seems like with the new Doctor and everything, he seems to be re-energized.
Yeah. Do you have a thought? Nah. Moffat's going to stay, I think, as long as he can. I imagine that until the BBC says you've got to go, or he gets tired, he'll stay for a very, very long time.
Now,
and when I say long time, we measure
at least until he makes someone mad enough to get fired.
I would say probably no more than another 3 years. And no, sorry, 3 series.
Yeah. Now here's another question, because we're talking the future here. I mean, we really are. Now that we have Toby Whitehouse on board as well with the production of Doctor Who, do you think we might get some more darker horror type stories?
I hope so.
Again.
I mean, Peter Capaldi is also a very dark actor if you watch some of his stuff. So.
I mean, just rewatching The Fires of Pompeii, and then watching Children of Earth, which I was watching last night. Yeah, I mean, he has a range.
Oh yeah.
He has a phenomenal range which I really hope they give him a chance to explore that range and not just be within that small confined range of him being the Doctor.
Well, I think it's safe to say, especially with Tennant and Smith, they got to go the entire gamut.
I think they just kind of say, "This is your scene. This is what we want. Have fun."
Yeah.
Kind of, they feel they trust their actors enough to.
Well, I think you have to, in a way, you have to have faith in your actor. You have to let them be able to play the scene. Because I think all those guys have given us some incredible performances. Even Eccleston.
Oh well, yeah. And with Whithouse being on board, I think I still feel that the next showrunner is going to be either Whithouse or Gatiss. And both of them certainly have the right to lay claim to that. Gatiss is still helping to write and produce Sherlock, which is, a huge success. When you consider how few episodes Sherlock has versus Doctor Who, its popularity is almost as popular, if not more rabid, mainly because the episodes are so sparse. But either one of those, both of them, they're two things they like. They like horror, and they like period pieces. And I think, I certainly, with a new Doctor, my mind's now kind of going to where do I want to see the show go, and when too. But so yeah, I think I would like to see a kind of return to season 13.
You might want it. People that don't know what season 13
Sorry,
is.
season 13 is the first season that Philip Hinchcliffe was the full director. Season 12, he came on board with season 12 with Robot. The kind of Dr. Sarah Harry story arc for that season. But Barry Letts was still the producer, and essentially Hinchcliffe followed him around for the first half or more to get a feel for it before Hinchcliffe took over. And as soon as Hinchcliffe took over, it became less of a Eastern influence sci-fi fantasival show and more of a gothic horror.
Well, it just dawned on me. I think this is a pertinent question, a relevant question when we were talking about companions and adding another companion in. Mm-hmm. Would you like a modern companion? Would you like an alien companion? I know you said male. I mean, is it about time that we do get that alien companion again? That we get somebody displaced out of time?
I'd like to see someone who is from a different time, not necessarily modern.
Yeah. Because the weird thing is, this is me going back. I could almost see like a Jamie-esque type character coming in. Really, really displaced from time, because the reason, and I think this is what popped in my head is when you said Harry, because at the time with the Fourth Doctor, they didn't know if it was going to be a young man, an old man, what they were going to get. Mm-hmm. So they brought in this younger guy to be the man of action if they needed it.
Absolutely.
Because we have this older Doctor, do you think we might get a man of action?
I was thinking the exact same thing, and I'm certainly not trying to offend any Jenna Coleman fans out there, but yeah, I think if we might have something along those lines. My personal preference, I think, would be an out-of-time, older historical figure, maybe even an actual recognized historical figure. It probably won't go that route, but I certainly would be a big fan of that. As far as Alien are concerned, Moffat is still running the ship. He's still at the helm, so we know we're going to see Vostra, Jenny, and Strax again, so that's enough Alien for me.
Okay.
And almost without fail, it's his creation. If it's one thing Moffat does, and I would say does well, is he dips back in the same well. I mean, he uses the same 10 ideas in some combination or another, at least certain story themes. He does those very well, but he does repeat them. So I think we'll see those characters again. I think it will kind of fill that slot. Now, if they do, for some reason, get removed, I wouldn't mind a season or two down actually getting a truly alien companion that's traveling in the TARDIS with them, because I think I would not be at all surprised if we still weren't pushing for a Paternoster Gang spin-off show. I have not heard anything through the grapevine about whether or not that might happen. I think everyone's really focusing on 50th anniversary right now.
Because it looks like they're going to spend this next year from 50 to 51 really celebrating it.
Yes, yeah, and I think so. And I think people are forgetting that the beginning of the 50th anniversary starts on the 23rd.
Yeah.
So.
I just thought of what would actually be an actual really cool companion. And this is just me geeking out. You know, go get a unit guy from like the 60s or the 50s or something. And I think that could be kind of cool.
You know, I'm so glad you said that, because I was thinking the exact same thing today. Is that a past companion does not have to be ancient. It just has to be displaced.
Yeah.
I was not thinking unit per se, but I really like the idea. I had this idea with Capaldi. Wouldn't it be cool to go to counterculture's the 1960s, the mid to late 60s? Not 63 a la Remembrance of the Daleks. I don't need that self-referential kind of fan service. I had this feeling of Monty Python, actually. This kind of, they go back in time and something is very weird is happening in an off-Broadway, not Broadway, whatever the equivalent is in the UK. But yeah, I agree. That would be real. Wow, that would be.
What would you like to see out of possibly the second companion?
Kind of want to see a person of color brought back to the TARDIS, whether it's an Asian or it's an African American or it's a Hispanic person even, or an Indian person. I mean, they showed good chemistry in one episode with the Indian chick.
Oh, the God Complex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, something like that might be interesting. I mean, we've really on screen only seen one kind of Asian companion, if you count the Eighth Doctor.
Technically, I can't remember his name. He's not even a companion.
No.
He was in the TARDIS.
It was vague because he was more the Master's companion.
But at the end, though, it kind of turned it. But, so I mean, it would be interesting to see something like that.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up something controversial now, because the rights are sort of up in the air right now. You know who I would love to see him interact with, because we haven't really seen a lot of the new Doctors interact this way. I would love to see K9 come back, not as a permanent companion, but I would like to see K9 come back for a little while back into the TARDIS. And I think this is the right time.
How is this a controversial decision?
I think Jenna Coleman and K9 would be like precious.
Oh my goodness,
that'd be
Really
amazing.
would.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
It really would, and I agree. And I would want like a Mark II, Mark III K9, and not flying K9.
Yeah, no, I would want to go back to classic K9.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the flying K9 for the Australian show. It actually worked. I dug the show. But it's just, I think it's time to see K9 back for a little while.
I am at a disadvantage because I know that K9 made several appearances in the Sarah Jane adventures, but I only saw a few episodes of the first series. So my Doctor Who knowledge is only Doctor Who. I've seen some of Torchwood, I've seen some of Sarah Jane, but so I don't know how it ended up, and I don't want you to tell me because I still want to watch it. But
I'll say this: he did not have a lot of appearances because of the Australian TV show, and there were still issues going on with the rights and stuff like that, and what agreements and stuff like that. They did solve some of the agreements towards the end of what would become the end of the Sarah Jane Smith adventures. So we had a little bit more of a taste of him, but I would like to see him back in the TARDIS for a little while. That's just me. So anything else we want to say? Our hopes, our dreams of this next Doctor, whatever number he may be. Because I think we run a pretty good gambit here of just talking about.
We're tabula rasa. We have a blank slate here, and we can't make any kind of predictions except for what we've seen him in prior to. And I was trying to remember what I'd seen him in, and very few things. Because a lot of what he has been in is stuff I've not watched. The earliest thing that I remember him in was he was the right hand man to John Malkovich in Dangerous Liaisons.
Really?
Which is one of my all time favorite movies, and he announced his name, and I'm looking through scanning thing. I'm like, no, that can't be this guy. And then I suddenly remember that movie is
20-something
years old. Yeah, I have, and again, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that.
And he was just in World War Z.
WHO Doctor.
Yeah. Wow, that is funny.
Oh, and apparently what is his TV show that's so popular right now, or just ended?
Is that the one where he plays the Doctor?
No, he's a doctor or a lawyer. Again, my Capaldi knowledge is next to nil right now. But I have heard recently that the DVD box set of the first 4 seasons
tomorrow.
is coming out. Is it tomorrow?
It's supposed to be tomorrow, if I remember right.
So I've heard October and I've heard tomorrow, and I think that's brilliant because if it came out tomorrow, what a coup by the BBC. To have known, and it really lends credence to the idea that Moffat knew ahead of time. So
Yeah. So, anything else you want to say? No? Nothing at all?
No, I'm good.
You're good.
I'm excited. Change is good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, that's what Doctor Who's about. It's I mean, the key component.
Tell that to all the fans online raging because the Doctor can't be an old guy.
Yeah. Oh my.
Do you know the fandom that you're watching?
Yeah, no, that's the funny thing is, just like with any change, it's so we hate it, we love it, we hate it, we love it, and yet nobody's actually seen him as the Doctor yet.
Yeah.
Which is what happened with Smith. Everybody hated Smith at first until they actually saw him in the role.
I knew that we were gonna like it regardless. I'm very happy they went with an older Doctor because I was afraid that we were gonna be going through they're getting younger and younger and younger and younger, and next thing we're gonna know, we're gonna have
Stormageddon, Alfie.
No, see that would be awesome. But who's the shirtless werewolf from Twilight? I'm like that kind of like. Eventually, are we gonna end up with something like that? No, we are not. And now we can start from scratch because now for the 50th anniversary, we went back to an actor who is essentially the same age that Hartnell went. Bravo! It's surreptitious. It probably wasn't intended, but you know.
And like I said, I'm excited. I'm glad we're going with an older Doctor. I can't wait. I'm very excited, and I will be bugging lots of people at Dragon Con and just asking them what their opinion is, and hopefully I might be able to bug some of the previous Doctors to find out what they think. But I'm excited. I can't wait to see what happens next. Moffat really, I think outdid himself this time by wanting to go older and stuff like that. I think it's exciting. I think it's fun, and man, November and December can't get here soon enough now.
Really can't.
So this is Gallifrey Pirate Radio signing off. Until next time, peace.
Way to avoid the controversial talking about should it have been a woman, but hey, that would have been an extra hour and a half long program. I probably should have waited until we stopped recording.